Hello, baby. This is a new episode. But today it'll be different. Um, Hopefully you do get to these videos, but this time I won't be playing Party Soundboard mainly because I still want to take a little bit longer of a break with it. But I decided today I got a little craving for a different kind of game, and it's not Factorial. Um, just decided. I think I just watched the video of it and I was like, I kind of want to play it. And today is the day that I cut my hair. You're asleep right now. It's 5:08 p.m. and yeah, I just decided maybe try something new. Yeah, I want to see your honest reaction to this game. I think I'll play like a little bit of this game, see how it goes with this video. Maybe I won't even upload this, but we'll see how it goes because this game is very hit or miss with the ways it works. But we'll see. But yeah, today we'll be playing the Isle, the dinosaur game I told you about. This game I told you holds a very special place in my heart. I find it at least very fucking fun. It's very immersive, and yeah, and I love it. I've been playing it since I was like fucking 11, literally like since 2015. I've been playing this fucking game. I've seen it grow. I've seen it fuck up multiple fucking times, way too many times, honestly. But now it's at a really good state. Or at least I hope so. We'll see how long it lasts. But yeah, and I want to see your honest reaction to it. So, all right, and here we are, baby. So this is like the main menu. There's herbivore, carnivore, or omnivore. But today, I want to go for perhaps the strongest creature in this game, debatably, the Carnotaurus. We're going to be female, just cause. And here is our little dinosaur. So this is like a little screen. What is that effect? What is wrong with that? Anyways, ignore that. I think it's because I have my graphics settings really low. But I'll change that once I go back. Yeah, no, that definitely really low. But yeah, this is our little place where we can customize our dinosaur. I do have preset skin that I quite like. There's like a little cheetah type skin. We can choose between pattern A and pattern B. Um, Pattern B works kind of well for this one. I have the tiger skin and this. Yeah, that I don't know what exactly that's supposed to be, but looks better with that. But anyways, I'm debating. This is more camel. We're gonna go for this one. It's gonna look kind of ugly at first, but we'll grow into it basically. So here we go. We can choose where to spawn. I prefer northeast. And here we are. So this is where our adventure starts, baby. Now let's see, let me check the settings, graphical settings. On motion blur, I hate motion blur, boom. Oh, everything is on okay. I don't know what was going on with that. But anyways, here we are, baby. It's kind of on. I don't know how to turn on. Oh, X, right. That's the night vision we have. And yeah, it is 6:21, so it is dawn. So it'll lighten up soon. But we this is kind of hard to record. Let me check my CPU. Oh, I should be recording pretty well. Yeah, it is recording pretty well. Okay, so oof, goddamn, this is you're probably seeing this better than I am, cause holy fuck, this is not good. But anyways, Jesus. So this is the aisle. So our main priorities right now is to find food. You can see here we're at 22.34% food, and us we are at 11.480. So our main goal is, find and improve our diets because certain types of animals, certain types of animals give different types of food, of course, and sorry, different types of nutrients. So we have this one that's like a little like we have this that's like the hexagon. We have the S and we have the bars. That's not the actual names for them, but that's how everybody calls them, I think. And so yeah, and we can find that either from killing players or from killing AIs. As you can see here, like our for hexagons, we should eat boars, and for bars, we should eat deer. And those two are AIs. So that's really good, and we can always eat things that aren't in our preferred diet, but that will worsen our diet, which is we might die here, but which is not a good thing. It should always be something we try to avoid, because if you worsen your diet, that gives you a lot of debuffs, which basically like it'll decrease your growth speed, it'll decrease your damage, it'll decrease your health regen, it'll decrease a lot of shit. So it's best to have a good diet because that'll do the opposite. Oh my god, holy shit. Get the fuck out of me. Bye. But yeah. Yeah, little guy. But yeah. Look at him go. But yeah. So, what was I saying? That, and, so yeah, so we have to improve our diet. We can just run around trying to find deer. Usually they spawn, or I mean, it's better to look. They do spawn in the middle of the forest, but it's better to look by the grasslands. And we are better, like, being at the grasslands because we are. Carnotaurus is the fastest creature in the game. So if we are in the grasslands, we can run away from anything and we can spot anything that's coming. And I don't know if you have noticed yet, but well, the trade-off for being the fastest dinosaur in the game is that its turns, what the fuck? Is that its turns are absolute dog water. Do you see that shit? That is absolute doo-doo. And if I want to do like a quick turn, I have to go. So I slow down and I do like a drift. So it's really bad at doing you know, doing turns. But yeah, but along with our fast, like our huge speeds, we have this ability that's charged, where I basically go, I right click, and we go a little bit faster. We consume a lot more stamina, as you can see in the bottom right. But that'll basically push and will do like a bunch of damage, push dinosaurs, and also you know like if it's too small, it'll just one-shot them. If it's you know big enough to resist it, it'll like stun them. So we can go and like for the bite. And yeah, that's basically our skill. But it is also like like being a Carno is very hard because first of all you're starving. Like not starving, but like you're always really hungry. So you always have to be you know on your toes trying to find shit to eat, or you will die quite fast. So that's a thing to you know keep in mind. Um, and yeah, and the other bad thing is like Carnotaurus. I don't know if you know this, but in real life, Carnotaurus were cannibals. They would eat their own. They they would eat their own kind. So how the fuck do I get out of here? They would eat their own kind. Jesus, I'm fucked. I don't know how to get the fuck out of here. But yes, they would eat their own kind. So we have to be very careful when we see another Carno, because even though we might be like, yay, friend, they might not be thinking the same thing. And the way that the game, you know, enforces this and encourages cannibalism is that if you see here, actually no. Well, it's like if we can eat ourselves basically, that won't like cause us to puke or cause like debuffs. Because for example, if you're a social animal, like the Utahraptor, it'll basically make your skin paler. which will therefore alert like other players and be like, okay, yeah, this guy has eaten members of its own kind, so maybe it's not safe to be around them, or I shouldn't trust them. And it also causes players to sporadically bite. Like just have like a little tick response that they'll just like bite out of nowhere. And yeah, and that is very dangerous both for them and for any other person they're teaming with. So yeah, but with Carnotaurus, that is not a concern because we are natural born cannibals. So that is no problem for us, thankfully. Not thankfully for me right now, maybe for later. Cause I am trying to make this a solo experience. I wanna see how well I fare without anybody, but if the opportunity presents itself and if somebody comes up, then I'll for sure consider it. But I won't be doing the typical shit of this game that like I see a juvie like a baby carno and I'll like fucking adopt it or whatever. Maybe eventually if I change my mind, but right now I'm very much in the mindset of I'm alone in this world and there's no mercy, you know? But maybe while I'm a juvie I'll join groups. Maybe like as an adult I'll change my position. Because it is like strategically more advantageous for me to, be with a group right now. Try to find one, secure one when, you know, we are motivated by the insurmountable odds stacked upon us to, band together, and that'll, motivate us to keep together. But people usually aren't that assholeish. At least like they're not like, okay, yeah, we'll be friends, but then they just go behind your back and just fucking murk you. So that's usually not that common of a thing. But yeah, I mean, you never know, I guess. Yeah, here we are at the grassland. Now here we'll fucking take anything. We're about to starve, baby. We need food. So we'll take anything that comes for us. Oh, and they actually changed it. Now you don't need to hold sprint. You just need to press it. Which I'm not sure if I like, but yeah. But there, I don't know if you saw these little trees. They draw peaches, I think. They look like peaches at least, yeah. Yeah, those are pretty much peaches. It's kind of fucked up we can't eat them, but yeah. And, um, and so, like herbivores will flock towards here because herbivores also have, diet, because the whole diet system in this game, because like this is why this game fascinates me and why I would kind of love to work on it. Because what this game is trying to do, to both success and failure, is um, basically control their players through mechanics. Um, so instead of placing any set rules on the players, they want to enforce mechanics to guide them to behave a certain way. Like for example, the whole the whole cannibalism aspect of the carno. Okay, I think I'm gonna start using them. Anyways, I'm just scared because I'm really terrified something will just pop up. Because I don't know why this guy died. But I don't know if we can. Oh yeah, no, food poisoning. Yeah, we're sick. If we bomb it, we're fucked. That'll ruin my diet. I thought we could eat rotten food, but I know we cannot eat rotten food. Fuck. Well, it's a gamble game. We might puke though. But yeah, what were we saying? Yeah, this game is trying to motivate players to behave a certain way through built-in mechanics in the game. For example, as I was saying, the whole cannibalism aspect in the Carno is built in not only because it was actually like that in the real world, but because right now Carno is the strongest creature in the game. kind of competed with the Ceratosaurus, but the Ceratosaurus is only stronger in very specific ways, like in very set situations. Um, but it is made so that Carnos are cannibals because it basically it's like a self-population control. Because Carnos will be eating each other, like bigger Carnos will most likely go against smaller Carnos and eat them. That basically controls the population and stops, an oversupply of Carnos just ruling the whole server. It does end up happening eventually, but that's because they haven't gone into enough effort to, penalize that thing. But the cannibalism helps in that regard. And there goes the diet system as well, because usually what players would do before, when we just would eat a body and any body just fills you up or whatever, that would basically make players just go find food, hide in a little hole, like in a little bush, and just stay there for like 5 hours or like an hour, and then when you're hungry again, just go back into the game and just and find something else. Um, but that is that basically just enforce players to just go AFK, like just fucking play like another game while they wait for their dinosaur to get hungry again. Because then you save the risk of getting killed because you're just walking around. But that is fixed with the diet system, because even if you can always eat food. Like I can find a sea turtle in the middle of the ocean, which is what I should be doing, but I lost track of the ocean. Um, you can go there and eat it, like a-okay. But that's not a desirable food. So if you're not eating any food that is of your like list, your desirable list, that will give you debuffs. That will like that will count as a bad diet for your dinosaur. So it'll grow slower, it'll do less damage, all those things. So yes, it motivates players to keep moving, keep searching. I don't know if I heard something. But yeah, and it stops the cycle of staying still and waiting to just become an adult and never coming out. Um, but yeah, those little things, and like the whole like overpopulation, because people will just go into like a Discord call or some shit and just play together and not kill each other as a Carno, and then they just like 10 players and then it's like done. It's like the server is done. There are limits into how many people of a group can be together, but that only means that you can't see their names. You see, that's an adult Carno. I should not get close to that. But what that means is basically, yeah, like groups is just you can see players' names at a distance. Um, and you have like a group exclusive chat that you can talk in. Actually, no, that doesn't even exist anymore. But yeah, basically, it's only that. So people like can still just like hang out, because like I mean, at the end of the day, you just don't see their names, but like you're talking to them. So it's like it's cool, it doesn't matter. Um, but in other dinosaur games, what they do is that they implement a stress mechanic. So if you don't behave the way your dinosaur is supposed to behave, it'll become stressed, it'll get debuffs. It's basically the same thing as the diet system. Um, and so things like that. That's why this game is like so like fascinating to me. Because of those small details. And it's crazier even like how like what fascinates me even more is the fact that they'll implement like a dinosaur realistically, and just like like it will affect the game just like it would in an actual environment. So it's like you're building your little sandbox of dinosaurs in an island, walking around, killing each other, this whole like food chain. But like with actual people playing. And it works sometimes. Yeah, there are servers that like implement rules in like a Discord server, and that if you break them, they'll call like the admin and they'll ban you and shit like that. But like for official servers, it still works pretty fucking well. Um, and like that's my favorite thing about this game. Just how realistic it can turn out to be sometimes. But but yeah, basically. Yeah, no, this is not working out. Let me see. Because I do have a map for this game. If I go here, my coordinates, I don't know if you can see this overlay, but it'll tell me where I am at the map. So I have to head northwest. Because that is south, so yeah, northwest, I have to head this way. And yeah, that map basically just tells me where food spawns. It's kind of like a cheat sheet. But right now the problem is I am starving, or I'm gonna starve. And sadly, there's no desirable food AI that's coming by, and I'm too young to be, searching for the big things that, actual player characters, player dinosaurs. So I'm kind of just forced to see what I can find. But I'm usually, thankfully, in at the beach, there usually are sea turtles just stranded by that I can grab and eat. And it's not part of my desirable food, sadly, but it'll prevent me from starving, and that's good enough for me at this point. And we still have like the diet point that we spawn with active, so it shouldn't be that penalized, thankfully. So yeah, so now we just wander around here at the beach and search for sea turtles. Hope we're lucky and we're not fucked over by the game. Oh my god, Jesus fucking Christ, oh I puke. Que susto, mierda. Okay, that's not good really. Are you serious that there's no fucking turtles anywhere? That's not good at all. That's actually very rare. There's not been a single time that I've come here where there wasn't a fucking sea turtle. That's where a little Pteranodon friend was when he teasing me on the fucking turtle. Well, the other side. But yeah, no, this is very bad behavior. Not only did I take damage, but as you can see, my stomach is kind of fucked. My nutrients that I was boasting about a second ago are gone. My thirst is not only reduced to like nothing, but it also has like those little like lines. That basically means I can't fill it up to the brim, not to the max. It'll always be locked at a certain point. And my actually, oh, it's actually not that bad. Oh, I mean, this is decreasing. No, it's still increasing, so it's not that bad. But yeah, it's not good either. I can't find a fucking speaker, which is even worse. Nothing at all. There's nothing here. I think there's even crabs, and I'm having like zero luck at all in finding them. So these are not boding well. So, yeah, it's kind of just praying right now, baby. I hope you're playing at home. Yeah, this map is huge, baby. It's pretty big, and it's not even the biggest one that's made. What the fuck? This is not even the biggest one that's made. But yeah, usually the game looks way better than this, but recording it kind of like brings it down a few frames, which is pretty sad. But yeah, but apparently this game is getting like a map, like an actually good one, because this is like the worst map they've ever fucking made. Because it's all fucking forests everywhere. There's no variation, it's just fucking forests. Like, everywhere, anywhere. Which is fucking bummer. Holy shit, are you serious? I'm not gonna find a single bit of... Oh, I see. Okay, we found... There we go. It's nothing, but it's something. We might have just passed by a few, and I didn't even notice. But that helps. I got it. I can't grab it myself. I can't follow. a little bit at least. But I mean, I'm shocked there's no fucking turtles outside. And then, come on, Seeker. Why is there a fucking Seeker anymore? Not even here? No, it is fucking grass. What the actual fuck? Why are there no turtles? Are there? Dude, there cannot be more around here. I don't know what that is. But yeah. I've been following this game for a long ass time. Like why I wanted to play this game was at first I love it, and secondly, it's a game that I can more like sit down, talk, while also being pretty stressful at times. But I feel like since I'm more familiar with this game, I can calm down more and properly talk to you, which I haven't been able to do with the first episode. So, prime example, at least in my opinion, try to into the face. But yeah, it's a good strat as a dude to just stay by the beach. That's why I picked this place. If you pick center, everybody's at fucking center. So you'll get like murked by like Carnotaurus, by fucking Fox, by fucking Utah, by fucking Ceratops, by fucking everything. Fucking kill you. Even though it's the most desirable spot to be in because of the overflow of AI and but while you're still a kid exploring, it's better to just get out here. But yeah. And as I was saying, I have been following this game since its very inception, really. Since 2015, since it came out. And yeah, it developed as a fucking snail's pace, mainly because of bad management, bad development, bad lead developer. Like everybody hates him because like he's just being Gandhi. He's an asshole. He's just really. He hasn't done a little compy. I'll talk about them later. I'll take them for the ride actually. But yeah. But yeah, the lead developer is a fucking dickhead. Like he's just an asshole. Treats everybody kind of like shit. Even like smaller YouTubers that play the game could treat them kind of like shit. You kind of suck up to big YouTubers, but like regret it, not regretfully, but what's the right term? Fuck, I forgot the word. Like he doesn't want to basically. He's just doing it because of the audience. But he's a fucking prick. He basically creates a lot of fucking drama in the whole like dinosaur community in YouTube and social media. And the game would be way better off if the motherfucker would just leave the fucking space. Because he's extremely unprofessional and kind of a prick. It's kind of the situation with maybe comparable to the situation with the Miraculous with your show. But maybe not as bad, or at least not as explicitly bad, because I'm sure this motherfucker is like an edgy redditor who's like fucking racist as shit. But at least the fucking Discord server hasn't been leaked. So like nobody knows about it, but I would not be surprised. But yeah, and said, so this game is I've been through like its whole fucking history. Because like at first it used to be like a sandboxing where you just like spawn in as like any dinosaur you wanted as like fully grown, and it would just be like fucking like havoc, like wreak havoc. It'll be like just like a just have fun basically. Um, and it was really fun back then, but like not for the reasons this game wanted, because this game wanted to be realistic, grounded, But like back then, people would just have fun basically, and I was just fucking around, and yeah, but it's because there weren't like many simples like really established, because like really the only thing that was in the game was thirst, hunger, stamina, and that's fucking it. Um, and there would be like a big variety of dinosaurs, like a big map, and you just find your way around basically. So it was like barely developed really. Um, and yeah, but as it kept changing, it kept limiting people's abilities, because you can't really control people's behaviors if you just give them everything there, like for free. You have to make them work for it. So um the first attempt they had at it was a progression system, which was a fucking nightmare. Maybe it'd be better looking back, but it was a fucking nightmare back then. And oh, okay, this is bad. This is bad. I'm dead. Or not. Soy Jesús. Soy Jesús. Soy Jesús. Mira, somehow I lived through it. And not only that, but I fucking like my diet. I'm not sick anymore. I am temporarily infertile though, and my growth rate is decreasing. But we'll figure it out. This is a good spot to be into, because a lot of people not as lucky as I am will fall and kill themselves, and we'll be here to grab the spoils. But yeah, a progression system will basically work like um for carnivores, you basically get a point every minute. And at first you spawn in as like the smallest, like weakest fucking dinosaur, and then you have to wait like 30 minutes, then you go to the next one, then you have to wait 2 hours. It's like a slightly smaller dinosaur, sorry, slightly bigger dinosaur, and then you can pick paths. You can go for speed, you can go for buff, you can go for like water, and yeah, and you can pick, and you can go for like a Rex, you can go for like a Carno, you can go for a Spino, you can go for all these different pursuits, I guess you could call them. And yeah, and so but it was a fucking god awful mechanic. Um, because you literally just have to like you have to spend hours upon hours, and then if you died, it was it. So it was fucking bullshit. Um, and yeah, and for herbivores, it was slightly better, because not only no, I think you wouldn't gain points by waiting, but you'd get points by these specific plants that are spread throughout the world. That if you eat one, you get a point basically. So it encouraged competition amongst herbivores. I think that was like the thought process. And but yeah, and so I need water. But yeah, and it was slightly made better, because like literally you'd have to wait like 10 hours to become like a Rex. 10 hours to become a fucking Rex. Which you could lose anytime, like anytime at all. So it was fucking like, oh, nice. Um, you see that's the charge mechanic. Does a lot of damage. But yeah, nice baby, nice. This is really good. To improve our diet. But yeah. And so what was I saying? And yeah, it was slightly improved by the incorporation of nesting, which basically allowed you to just make a nest. Like anybody can make a nest. You don't have to be female, because there wasn't gender system back then. It was just you're anything. You're anything you want to be. And so yeah, so you could make a nest whenever, and you could just spawn in somebody, and it wasn't like even like there's like a baby dinosaur. It was just like a shrinked version of the adult model, and you'd have to wait for it to grow. But of course, even though you have to wait, it's way faster than fucking than actually going through like each dinosaur to get through that one basically. So you have to skip, even though it was still a long ass time, you would get to skip a lot of you know um obstacles basically. And that's how I played most of the game because I wasn't gonna fucking stay, you know, like for 10 hours. Like yeah, I had more time back then, but like still it's like an egregious amount of time. But yeah. So and that was cool. There were like a lot of dinosaurs, but like everybody kind of hated the game because of that system, the whole progression system. So that was eventually worked out. There was like a whole period where were like mods available in the game, which was super fun. But then that was blocked out. They actually ended up because like for a while, progression was the only. Jesus, why I hate this one. Progression was the only system available. Twice, twice, baby, twice. Like the K-pop group. Anyways, and what was I saying? Right, that was the only game mode you could play. There was no sandbox anymore. That was like literally just like pulled off the rug, and that was a very controversial thing because people loved sandbox. That's why they started playing the game, and all of a sudden it was just removed, and now you had to like actually work for shit. And of course people hated that shit. They despised it. Including me. It was a fucking bummer. Um, and yeah, and but eventually, after years, literal years, where like it went from changing the map to blah blah, like a bunch of different changes that weren't really that big, a bunch of empty promises really. They decided to come out with a new system, new map, new dinosaurs, like remade dinosaurs, like from the ground up, new models, new abilities, all that. Oh, I thought there was something there. And can't really scare right now. I need to shut up. Oh fuck. Yeah, that's why. Oh, idiot. Run! 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 Fuck. I need the water, baby. But yeah, those crocs can literally like one shot you. So yeah, that's not good for us, baby. We need the water. And I don't think we can outrun the adult because of our broken leg. So we're just gonna have to chill for a bit, like further away. I don't know why the game is so bad right now. Like it is awful. The ping is so bad right now. I don't know if it's because of the recording or what, but the game is not usually this fucking bad. It's kind of embarrassing. But anyway, now I can get to talk more. So yeah, and they came out with brand new dinosaur models, brand new systems, brand new map. And it was like kind of the golden age for the Isle for like a little bit, I think. Though I think right now we're facing kind of like a second golden age. Where it was really exciting. Like yeah, the dinosaurs because like before it was like let's say like 25 dinosaur species. Now it was only like three or four. But slowly they kept adding, and the amount of updates was really like backed up. Like they were doing them at pretty quick succession. And it was really exciting being part of the community, seeing all these changes, seeing all these new models, new sound effects, new calls, new animations, new everything, and it was really fun. The immersion was brought way up. Maps are really exciting. Um, because yeah, I mean because for example, there wasn't the like original map for like progression. was this huge fucking map called ILV3 that was like insanely big. Um, but it didn't really have that much crazy shit in it. Yeah, it had like interestingly built lakes, a swamp, and a redwood biome. That was it. And it was super weird because it was so bad implemented. It's literally embarrassing. But because they hadn't implemented swimming yet, um, even though they had like placed an ocean in the fucking map, you could just because they hadn't made like swimming, you could just walk through the water and just walk underwater. But like not even like walk underwater where there's like a filter and it's like all blue. No, it was like imagine instead of being an ocean, it's a desert. Just that like it has like a little like sheet of ocean that makes it look like an ocean, but you can go inside and it's nothing. So it was fucking embarrassing. But then they changed to like this whole like golden age that I was telling you about, where they made Finial Island or something like that. It was called smaller map, but more exciting locations, more human buildings, and yeah, like biomes were kind of like specifically made to benefit certain species, and like Utahraptors that were like the only dinosaurs who had jumping, or like at least were the best at it. They had special like locations where they could be like like untouchable by other species because they have the ability to jump and all of that. So that was way cooler, and it would also reward certain places you could only reach if you were small enough. So it would limit big things from coming at you. So it was really fucking cool. And then with that they came with the new IOV3. Um, or I think it has a different name or something. I forgot what it was. But and that was like the first IOV3, but like remade, made way more interesting. Now there was a swamp. There was no redwood biome. No, yeah, there was a redwood biome. There's a redwood. There's like a radio tower. There was like swamps, little ponds, a river, like a whole plateau that like has like a fucking like a waterfall. It was the best map so far like made yet because it had like a bunch. That's a rattle. It had a bunch of different like places for you to be in. So like I think we're fixed with our legs. Yeah, we can start looking for water. But yeah, it had many different places for people to populate. So it wasn't like a singular lake. Yeah, there was like a central lake that all of the people went to, because like they wanted to fight or whatever. They were bored, and they just wanted to go out in a blaze of glory. There was that lake for it. Like, of course, there's always that kind of thing in the games, like the central spot. Um, but yeah, and that existed for that, and but there were also like a bunch of different places, and like honestly, the central spot, um, yeah, like it was a thing, but like there were like a bunch of different like central spot like hot spots in the servers. So that was really good, and like community servers were allowed to have more than 100 players, because even right now servers are capped at 100 players. Since the map here is way smaller than anything else, it's understandable. It's okay. Um, but for maps as big as the old ones, that shit was like way too fucking small. And yeah, and so okay, we're gonna risk it here, baby. We might die, but if we die, I'll keep talking. I'll play with the Amazon. Um, please silence here, baby. Fuck out of here. That's done, baby. Um, but um, but yeah, so servers could be more popular, and then there would be many different places for them to populate. So it wasn't like a everybody like fucking just like gets together at one spot. It was like many different hotspots, as I was saying. But yeah, but that was really like kind of peak the Isle, really. I don't think it's met that spot yet. Because like there was nesting, there were many different dinosaurs. Combat was like interesting. It was a very bare bones compared to what it is right now. But like it was just a normative state, and it was really fun. You could do like a bunch of different shit, and it was infinitely replayable, really. So they reached that good spot of like there's enough content that like people will be hooked into this shit for like a long time. And with community servers, I could kind of do whatever they wanted, like spawn in creatures of like the 25 original creatures that were available that weren't remade, so weren't actually available for everybody in the roster. They could spawn them in. If you had like certain points in the server, you could, you know, request them, stuff like that. Um, and so yeah, so it made it come alive. But then, um, basically, like the developers were kind of like, hey, yeah, so like we're kind of like in a spot right now with the game where like it was developed so poorly initially that the very foundations of the game are like flimsy as fuck and like extremely inadequately developed. So there's kind of like two options right now. We either keep going like this, which infinitely slows down development, or we could just go and remake the whole thing from the ground up with a like a base like a foundation of the code that like actually supports, you know, like development, and lets us go the extra mile with this game. And that's what Ivrima is, what we're playing right now. A whole oh shh. I don't know what that was, but I'm not finding out. I think that was a Carn't, maybe it was a Herbie. I think that was a Carnot. But yeah. Yeah, no, we need to get the fuck out of here. Start planning our way out. But yeah. We need to get back to here. So we need to head northeast. Sorry, give us northeast. I have to cross the lake, so I forgot what part, what worries me. Crossing the lake. Northeast, right? And where is that? Northeast. That way. Yeah, there we go. But it's getting to nighttime, so that might be better for us. But yeah. And so yeah, that's basically what this is, a whole recoding of the game. Anyways, as I was saying, a whole recoding of the game. Um, and yeah, and at first I was like pretty excited for Rima, a whole new map, like way better graphics, way better animations. And they teased it really fucking good because they showed like things that they kind of promised for a long time, fishing, like a bunch of dinosaurs, like a crocodile dinosaur, the Deinosuchus, that is basically this huge crocodile, the biggest crocodilian that ever lived. And they wanted to make it and implement a feature to it in the game that you basically, you know, well, first it involves swimming, and like not only swimming, but making swimming an active lifestyle for the creature. Um, but it also included, you know, like like ambush and like in the water, all of these things, like all of these mechanics they had to do. Fishing, all of these things. And yeah, it was a dinosaur they had to use for a long time, and now it was finally coming out. They also included in the update and the trailer a pteranodon, so the first flying creature in this game. Um, and the Utahraptor and all these things. And they teased in the fucking game, in the trailer, a Suchomimus, which was already in the game, but like it would have been included, and the Spinosaurus, like a whole remodel of the Spinosaurus. And the first model that came for the Spinosaurus literally happened like 3 years before that, so everybody was like fucking hyped. Um, but the game came with only the Pteranodon, the Dano, the fucking Atenanto, and that's like a cow dinosaur, and a Utah. So it started literally from zero. It was like the golden age all over again, but like not golden anymore because it was like fuck this shit again. How long is it recording for? I think it's not super long. Oh yeah, I'll cut it in a bit. I think I'll leave it there. I want to know what you feel about this game. Not like you have seen much of it, but I think I should have probably played as a Pteranodon at first. But yeah. And so yeah. So it was like people were pretty fucking mad because the game was again a fucking like demo of its former self. Yeah, you could still play the legacy version that was like the one that I told you was like the peak of it. You could still play that one, so you could switch between the versions. But people were pissed because it's like, where has this game been fucking going? Because it's been in development for 5 fucking years, maybe six, not five. Let's say 5 years. Um, and holy fuck my diet. Anyways, this game has been in development for 5 fucking years, and we're right back where it started. What the fuck is this? And but yeah, but slowly, literally, because it came out in 2020, and only now is it at a state where I'm like, okay, this is actually maybe not yet, not even yet, but this is maybe like has the chance to be worth people's money. Um, because they've added a bunch of shit. The game is way more immersive. I think I'm gonna try my luck with that. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, I think it went the other way. Oh well, never mind. It got away. Um, but yeah, and yeah, like for example, like first, like the thing you see there, sleep. To log out, you have to hold H and like be kind of like unable to move for 60 seconds, and that's when you're able to safe log. The whole diet system I explained to you. There's this whole thing that if you kill a big creature like a player character, that's kind of like medium sized or above, you can open their stomachs up and eat their organs. And each organ gives a different kind of a nutrient. There's hearts, lungs, and intestines. Like both lungs, intestines, and the heart. And I'm not sure which gives which, but that's universal. Like even if I'm pretty sure that's universal. Even if it's like a dinosaur that's not in your preferable diet, if you eat and there's also the stomach. Um, but the stomach doesn't give you a specific nutrient. It gives you the nutrient of the last thing the player ate, which is pretty cool. But anyways, there's that system, and there's also growth. Like it's before it was like you reach like 30%, you click a button, and then you change to the from the baby to the juvie model. And then when you hit 60, you switch from the juvie to the sub-adult model, and then when you hit like 85%, you switch from the sub to the adult model. And of course you get your little growth spurts, but it's you have to switch the model manually. But now in this one, the growth is gradual. So you start with the baby model, and like gradually you go up to the adult model. Um, and much more shit like the new AI, like the sea turtle I showed you, bunch of different things. And yeah, now the game is at a really cool spot where it has a lot of promise, but it can also go awfully because the game has made it so there's no Rex. The biggest thing is a Carno right now. So it's building up its ecosystem with the smaller creatures, testing out how things work, testing out what doesn't work, and slowly building it up from there. And then eventually, and then eventually, figuring out how to add um, the apexes to this whole to the the operation, to the whole the environment. So So yeah, so it's but yeah, the bad thing is that there's a bunch of herbivores, and right now it's semi-even the strength between herbivores and carnivores. But the way it's looking, especially because before apexes were OP as fuck, and everybody went for them, like most people went for them because they're the strongest thing. There's nothing that can come against them. um like yeah, you can die, people can like still group up with you, like if you get like a Rex can die to like 5 Utahs, and like a really good Utah player can kill a Rex, which kind of doesn't make sense. But yeah, so it's not invincible, but it is very fucking strong, especially if you're a good Rex player. So it was like you're kind of an idiot if you don't play as a Rex. And now here they say that they want to make the apexes even stronger, which is kind of like, what the fuck are you trying to do? And they're thinking about, they're already working to add the Rex, and they're probably gonna add it with the Trike, but unless they make it balanced, the Rex is gonna completely just fucking rule the whole fucking planet now, and herbivores are gonna be in complete disadvantage, because at least they've been giving kind of like every herbivore its own like ability. I think there's like a Servato and a Carno fighting, but anyways. Um, but it's the game right now. It's at a really cool spot, but it can easily blunder and badly. And I really hope for this game success, not only because I've been fucking like following it for fucking years, but because it's been through like a very muddled like fucking history. Like the lead not the lead developer, but like one of the lead developers was found out to be like a fucking weirdo. Um, so he was like completely cut off from the game, and that was really fucking sad to see. Cause like I love this fucking game, and of course Dondi, the fucking creator, handled it like fucking shit. But it was extremely sad, being a fan of this game, seeing that shit happen. It was cut off from the he was cut off from the development team, but like it's really sad because there's really talented, like devoted people, that come like new to this game, like to develop it, and it's really sad, to see them have to, fucking put up with not only the lead developer but all of this shit. And yeah, and there was also this whole scandal in a Discord community for the game, for a community server, that like one of the moderators or some shit was found out to be like a convicted pedophile, and it's really bad because, as you might guess, the community for this game is mainly, children. So so of course it's of severe importance that, like it's a safe space for them. And all this shit coming out was fucking awful, for the PR and for the reputation of this game. But but yeah, and like a bunch of new games have come out, kind of like as competition for this game, which is good because not only do I think that it's making like the competition is incentivizing the development team to, step their fucking shit up, because Evrima has been out for fucking 3 years, and this shit, like the state it's at right now, should have been how it would have been in the first fucking year, at least, or the first year and a half, maximum the second year. This is how it should have been. It's been developing at a fucking snail's pace, and it's unjustifiable. Um, But yeah, but I really want to see this fucking game come through, and I really want to see the fucking lead developer leave the fucking project already. Because yeah, he brought some cool ideas to the table, but fuck, is he a fucking prick? Like he's so fucking annoying. He's so disrespectful, and he treats anybody with like constructive criticism to the game like absolute fucking shit. Especially like this YouTuber that I really like that actually talks about how certain mechanics would be implemented into the game and would it really work, giving the developers advice, giving them criticism, things to think about, and the lead developer treats him like shit and he abandons him from the official Discord. So it's just fucking annoying. But yeah, but I fucking love this game. It's really cool. I don't think this gameplay has done it justice. Mainly because it's a really you have to sit down and play it all day, and that's when shit gets fun. Like in the that time that I played with it on call with you, even though it was like a fucking like 5 frames per second because I was using the browser version of Discord. But but yeah, but tell me what you think about it. I don't know if I'll play this game. But tell me what you feel about it. Because if you do like it, I will play it because what this game has that, for example, it doesn't. Even though it doesn't mean like your current craving for zombie media. But what it allows me to do is talk more to you since it's a what? Okay, wait, give me a sec. Since it's a calmer game that I'm more familiar with, so I can easily commentate and talk to you more. Um, but yeah, tell me what you feel about it because I really want to play Project Zomboid as well. So it's not you don't have to be like yeah no I want to see I don't want to actually want to see him play this game. It's just I want to see him happy because he likes this game. You don't have to do that because I love both games, Project Zomboid and this game, and I think I'm gonna play Project Zomboid right after this. But um but I just want to know what you think about what this game brings to the table. and and yeah, and I can show you or like talk to you about stories I've had of the 5 years, more than 5 years, fucking 8 years. Holy fuck, I'm so old. 8 years of playing this fucking game. It's unbelievable. Like 2 years, it's gonna be a decade of playing this game, and this game is gonna be a decade old, which is even more of an insult to developers. But anyways, that is it. I think this recording is at one. Yeah, it's at 1 hour right now. Holy shit, you can't even fucking see me. I'm a fucking silhouette. Holy shit. I'm sorry about that. I'll figure it out. It's probably good because I really don't like how my hair looks right now. So maybe tomorrow it'll be better, hopefully. You know how these things I have to let it marinate. But I kind of like made it to like the middle parting and I kind of fucked it up and now I don't know how to style it anymore. I don't know where I should part it for the quiff. I'm like looking at videos about it. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. Do tell me what you feel like about it, either in the comments or just talking directly to me. I feel comments would be cooler because I feel like somebody's been actually watching my videos. Like I'm an actual YouTuber, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a thing I'd like, but it sounds cool. But yeah, baby. I will see you in the next episode of whatever it is I do record, which will be Project Zomboid. I'm pretty sure. I think I'm gonna play it. I want you wanna play it because I've seen videos. I know kind of like what I want to do. Um, I am not prepared for the lights to go out, but we're figuring it out. I think. I might restart, but don't tell anybody I said that. But yeah, I will see you in the next episode.